Get ready with me while I talk about being a counselor on social media. Hello, in case you don't know, I am a dependently licensed counselor in 2 states, and I wanted to talk about being a counselor on social media. So, social media is something that is near and dear to me, but it's something that has a lot of teeth. And I know this, especially as somebody who grew up on social media. I was a person who was homeschooled for 3 school years of my life. Additionally, during those homeschooled times, I would say I grew up in the midst of social media. They were the times of Zoella. They were the times of Natural 85. They were the times of Blogspot and Twitter, Black Twitter. And I would say that those things shaped my existence, so much so to the point where I was very much alive and well on those aspects of social media. I'm somebody who saw a lot of positivity coming out of social media, especially as somebody who grew up in that time. But I'm also somebody who saw a lot of negativity and negative things that came from social media. Nonetheless, what I experienced shaped me into who I am today. Fast forward, I work in a field that unfortunately really discourages social media use, which is stupid to me. I want counselors to do better, personally, but it's so much so of a scare tactic-y situation to where people are scared to put their full government names on social media. People are scared to be themselves on social media. People are scared to post their hobbies like pageantry on social media. Me, I used to be a pageant girl. I'm not anymore. But as I was competing, promoting yourself is something that naturally comes from that hobby. And I felt like my career threatened that and vice versa. So much so to where I do believe I had people from my job lurking, and it was like I couldn't win. Like I couldn't promote my platform, quote unquote, without being seen as somebody who just lives, eats, and breathes their career, when in fact that was not the case. For example, my platform in pageantry was actually mindfulness for historically marginalized communities, and it was based in the topic of my thesis, which basically said that the more marginalized identities you have, the more likely you are to have barriers in receiving treatment for alcohol use disorder. And it was something that I was very proud of. It was something that I, spent a lot of time and effort on. And it was something that I thought was like neutral to where if my job was looking at my social media, which they were, then it wouldn't be an issue because I'm promoting mental health, I'm promoting mindfulness, and hopefully that wouldn't interact or interfere with anything, right? And so with this, I also just went to pull up the ACA Code of Ethics, right? Because I feel like it's relevant. Okay, so I can't entirely find where it says what it says about social media relationships on the Code of Ethics, but basically it says don't look up your clients and don't let your clients look up you, etc., etc. And as somebody who grew up on social media and has a love for it, as anybody who is 26 would, I was just like, okay, well, I'm going to engage in social media in the same way that I would, regardless of what career I would be in. And then if it comes to where I'm seeing people who shouldn't be on my social media, like looking at my stories or liking my posts or trying to engage with me or following me, I would block them. Very simple. But not quite, because it turned into a whole issue. One that I don't really necessarily understand. I remember in my ethics class, I had my ethics professor talk to our class and say that she doesn't even put her full name or government on her social media because she didn't want the backlash. And one, I can relate to that in certain stances, but also two, it's a bit of extreme, in my opinion. It's a bit extreme, especially when you are in hobbies or things when you have to promote yourself, right? Now, I will say another reason why I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna post on social media is because I always had the dream of going into private practice. And in private practice, you're basically running your own business, and you still need to market yourself and post on social media in the same way and sense that you would any other business. You market yourself to your target niche and you follow the dotted lines, right? And so with my pageant platform, I was, in a sense, priming myself for the same target audience that I would be targeting come my private practice days, right? So in situations in counseling, I was thinking about just really targeting toward the niche of marginalized identities, whether it be race, social economic status, religion, sexual orientation, that sort of jazz, gender. However, I do believe I found myself in a predicament of an environment where I couldn't do that in peace, right? Because, I don't know, people's agendas, I don't know. In my multicultural class, my professor shared a quotation with me that I thought was really important and relevant to my situation. And the quotation was, well, first of all, she had us guess which profession has the most bullies in a profession. And we all guessed. We're like, okay, doctors, like there's the hazing aspect of it. Okay, maybe like scientists, I don't fucking know. Maybe like people at Route 21, like retail, you know? Like everybody was guessing. And the answer was social workers. Social workers are the profession that have the most workplace bullies. Okay? And I think that that is funny because we're in a profession where we are supposed to be aiding people with their mental health, yet we are bullying our peers and colleagues in the same process. We're hazing them, so to speak, right? I went through this at internship, so you should be able to do this. I went through this and my practicum, so da. You need to be doing this, right? Those are all quotations. And I think this video is sort of going off kilter, but that was the type of environment that I consistently find myself in, especially in a profession where everybody talks. Everybody talks. And so I think, you know, not only were we talking people inside the agency, but people were talking to people outside the agency. And ultimately, it bled into job interviews even that I was trying to engage in. I couldn't even find a space where I'm like, okay, I want to leave this unhealthy environment. I need to go somewhere else. Help me do that, right? I don't think that there is a single profession that has that same amount of like hostility. And I think the hostility was amplified because I am a traditionally aesthetically pleasing person to look at. My fiance is yelling at the football on the TV. But yeah, I find myself in situations where I couldn't even go to job interviews in peace, wanting to leave toxic work environments without pointed questions, if that makes sense. And I think that's stupid. I think that, you know, yes, we are here for our clients, but a job is a job. And if a job is not benefiting us, or if it is maleficent to us, we should be able to leave it, right? I'm not here, I didn't sign a blood oath to you. So I'm not going to act as if I am in a blood oath and sit through the misery and the hazing that you want me to experience. I remember a situation where I had a supervisor sort of deliver this news to me that I'm going to be taking on twice as much clients and I'm going to be doing this and that. And this is not, we were working, this is completely going away from social media. This is just talking about being a counselor at this point. So I wonder if this video is just gonna be a get ready with me talking about being a counselor. But yeah, so remember a situation where I came out of a pretty tough space, a pretty tough situation to be in, and going back to work. And my supervisor's like, yeah, you're gonna be taking on twice as many clients, and you're not gonna be going into this project because it's not ready. So you're gonna be going back to this project, and this project is an hour away from you, and da 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 da. And I think they expected me to sit there and be like, oh, okay, you know, I'm here for the clients. I'm here to, you know, learn. Yes, I am. But I think they expected me to say yes to that. And I asked, okay, well, can I put in my 4 weeks notice? Because what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is only one place in this tri-state area. Like, I can go somewhere else. And that's the type of hazing that I think that my professor was talking about. That's the type of bullying that I think my professor was talking about, right? Like, what are you talking about? I'm gonna be having to do this and this and this. Like, I truly do believe sometimes people in high spaces work to make people below them and their lives miserable. And that is so awful to me. Like, I could not ever be in that space or in that mindset. Because up until this point, like, I was dotting my I's, crossing my T's, doing exactly what they were telling me to do, working with my clients, like, trying the best to engage in this, you know, organization, doing everything I could, and I was still being met with so much animosity. So I left. But anyway, going back to social media, why would I stop myself from being on Reels or being on Threads or being on Instagram or being on TikTok, which is fun, or being on YouTube doing my makeup, which is fun, for a place that is hazing me and causing misery, right? Not for the profession, because I understand for the profession, yes, like maybe we want to have a blank slate so that we can like project an aura of professionalism and yada yada yada. I get that, but I also get setting boundaries, and I haven't crossed a problem where my clients were on my social media at all. It was never my clients that were the issue. The issues stemmed from my peers and colleagues and upper people. I don't know what they're called. The professional hierarchy, right? To where it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. When you look at any other profession, there are influencers. When you look at any other profession, There are people who are posting fun on social media, and it's not an issue. There are medfluencers who have millions and thousands of followers on YouTube or Instagram. There are PAs who have thousands of followers on Instagram, right? But therapists aren't allowed to do that because of what? Because my Instagram is not impacting how I work. My LinkedIn is not impacting how I work. And I'm of the belief that if you don't like what I'm posting, you need to leave. I'm of the belief if you don't like what people are posting, you can unfollow. You don't have to engage. You can leave. And I think this place that I'm talking about had this like one-sided animosity because I was posting things that were relevant to like recent events. Lo and behold, my supervisor was related to recent events in a way that I didn't know because I'm first generation American and I don't know your last name. I don't know what your last name stands for, okay? So there was one-sided animosity with that I won't get into. But yet again, what I was posting went back to my niche of therapy, marginalized identities. And that somehow caused some strife. Some strife and some one-sided beef. So much so to the point where it bled into my healthcare. My own healthcare. But yeah. This is trash. I need to organize my lips because half of them are old and decrepit. Old and decrepit. Who loves Wicked? I love Wicked. I want to go see it again. But yeah, I don't believe that a person's social media standing or posts has anything to do with their professionalism. I don't believe that anybody's hobbies has anything to do with their professionalism. I don't believe that one-sided beefs have anything to do with a person's professionalism. But that is neither here nor there. I'm just finding makeup products at this point and I am putting them on my face. I don't even know I don't even have any. See, this is why YouTubers, they have bullet points before they talk. Because I'm just talking at this point. And I get it. I could make my social media private and all of this could go away, right? Am I going to? Probably not. Because in a world where so many other people can say what they want and do what they want and live their life, why can't I? because I'm just a girl in Ohio who is doing the same thing, making less of an impact in other people's lives. And I refuse to not be given the same grace, not give myself the same grace. You know, like, we have a whole bunch of people on social media doing reckless things. And I can't post my little Instagram photo. Why? Why can't I? That's what I ask. And I will say, I did delete my Instagram. I deleted my social media. I deleted my pageant related things because I felt like I needed a fresh start without like lurkers or without like certain people who could, you know, just view that. But I'm not going to stop posting on social media. I feel like that's stupid. I'm not going to stop posting on social media just because of the letters behind my name. I talked about that workplace hazing, right? At the end of the day, I still found a job. At the end of the day, I still found a job. And I'm here. And this is not working. And I'm doing the same thing that I was doing before with unfortunately different clients. And I do feel more appreciated. I feel like who I work with, the people get me. I feel like I'm able to step into the role and do what I'm supposed to do without hawkeyes or without micromanaging. And I do feel that if I was still in the pageant world, that would not be looked down upon. Which is great. But I'm out of that because of my own issues with that. My own issues with the pageant world that I could talk about on a video if you guys want. But yeah, I feel like there's just so much weird. Okay, those are kind of even. I feel like there's so much weird woohoo voodoo against being online as a counselor. And as somebody who does plan on going into private practice later in life, as somebody who does know that I need to market myself, and I have shown that I'm able to market myself as a pageant person, as a business person, as a counselor, I'm not going to stop posting on social media for whoever. It's me, Alfie said. It's me. So the lore of Victoria online. I could write a novel of the lore of Victoria Online. Anyway, I'm an individual who loves aesthetic things. I'm an individual who loves books. I'm an individual who loves cozy things. I'm an individual who loves the color purple. The actual color, not the book and movie, right? I'm all these things before I am a counselor, and I'm not going to stop my life because I am a counselor. In the world of Katie Morton, you want me to stop my life because I'm a counselor? I think not. Katie Morton is an icon. I used to watch her when I was a little baby. I think all of like the unspoken rules of this profession, especially as somebody who's first generation American who fell in love with this profession because I had a good counselor, not because I wanted to necessarily be a counselor. I had a good counselor and I wanted to be that for somebody else. In that aspect, like, I'm not going to stop my life for my profession. I don't know. Does that make me a horrible person? I don't know. All I know is I had one of my cohort members turn around and work at a bank. I had another one of my cohort members who's on their 5th post-grad job. So I'm doing fine, right? Anyway, I started the video thinking that I was going to talk about one thing and thinking that I was going to have the most profound think piece in the world. And I started talking about a whole bunch of different things about just being a counselor and living my life. So I hope you made it to the end of this video. And if not, no beef. And I will see you guys later. Hope you enjoyed getting ready with me.